You like abysmal Christmas movies? Well, then you came to the right place, because on the 5th day of Gothmas, the Count has brought to you the waste of film, Santa's Sleigh. This movie is garbage. Seriously. It's just about a killer Santa Claus, but it sucks. The worst part is, at the beginning of the film, he kills the dog. You don't do that! ¿Qué coño es esto? According to IMDb, Santa Claus is actually a demon who lost a bet with an angel, so he becomes the giver of toys and happiness. But when the bet is off, he returns to his evil ways. If you like what I do, then consider subscribing and hit the bell to be notified every time I upload a new video.
Where do you think you're going, fat boy? I thought I'd stuff some stockings. I don't think so.
For some trivia, at the end of the film's end credits, Santa breaks the fourth wall saying, "Who's next?" During his wrestling career, Bill Goldberg made this his catchphrase after pinning his opponents. Bill Goldberg plays Santa and is a professional wrestler in the WWE. The film starts out with Santa Claus arriving at Hal Township, and he goes on rampages.
And have a very happy holiday there, Mrs. Talbot.
Don't use that political language shit with me. It's Christmas. Wish me Merry Christmas.
I'm sorry. Merry Christmas, Mrs. Talbot.
Thank you, and go fuck yourself. What a fucking whore.
What a pleasant lady.
Feliz Dia de Reyes, vieja bruja, miserable y de mente pequeña. As Santa goes on rampages throughout the city, Nicholas Yulson, his girlfriend, and his grandfather all hunt down Santa Claus and end up in a final battle at the local ice rink, ending him, or so they think. It's so bad. The biggest problem with this film is that it tries to be a serious black comedy, but it ends up being a subpar horror film and a subpar comedy. If it was a straight horror film or a better executed black comedy, that could work. Since it wants to be a black comedy, for it to work and be a good black comedy like Gremlins, it needs to be a genuinely good film, well written and accurately acted. Most of the comedy coming from the creatures, or in this case, Santa, and their antics. If it wants to be a fun bad movie, like Killer Piñata, then it needs to be outrageous and surreal and do the opposite and be as unrealistic as possible, especially in its performance, kinda like a caricature. This film is not performed or written well enough to be a good black comedy, and not outrageous or unbelievable enough in performance or situations to be a fun bad movie. So it's in this in-between place. Realistic / believable, meaning the characters react accurately to the situation on hand, as if it were happening in real life. I feel like this film would work much better if it was a serious black comedy, well acted and written, like Gremlins. For a serious black comedy to work, in many cases, it needs to tone down the outrageousness or nonsense and have the comedy be more minimal but effective, and be acted accurately. For a so bad it's good movie to work, it needs to be outrageous, silly, over the top, and nonsensical, and the comedy coming from being unrealistic and not acted accurately. Is it recommended? It's mean-spirited, poorly written, poorly acted, and just no good. It tries to be funny, but the jokes, some are good, but most just don't work. Something like this should be outrageous. The thing is, with these kinds of movies, the saving grace is the absurd or surreal humor, like in Thanksgiving or Killer Piñata. That movie works because the old monster hunter lady is crazy, but this movie has none of that. If it were outrageous, then sure, but as it is, I say no. I don't really recommend it. It's just a bad, unfunny horror film. If you're interested in seeing a true abomination, then yeah, go ahead and watch it.
Who's your daddy? Father Christmas.
Come on, let's go!
Well, that's it for now. Thanks for watching and supporting the channel. Subscribe and click the bell to be notified every time I upload a new video. If you want to support the channel even more, visit me on Patreon. Have a Merry Gothmas, Happy Holidays, ho 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 and all that. Bueno, adios.